Why, yes, I deactivated my Facebook given the very high and emotional state of social media right now. I fear for the safety of my child and children. My husband and I had six children. We covet their privacy. Well, damn, what about Nolan Wells' family? What about their family, his mom's children and his father's children? Do y'all think about that? I guess not. So one could be safe to assume that maybe this march that's going on is the reason why she claims she fears for her family's safety.
Black man. That's right. 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 Receive this word, white man. That's right. That's right. That's right. You celebrate Christmas, don't you, brother? Yes, you do. And it's a white holiday. White holiday. Black is power. Black is power. Black is power. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Black is power. Black is power.
I am a son of a God. I am a son of a God. I got the power of God. I got the power of God. Hey, Nolan Wells.
You will not stop our brothers or sisters from the Constitution. That's right. That's right. I'd rather be in the cell than to be in hell. That's right. Free man. Free man. Free man. Free man. Free man. Free man. That's right. John and Lorinda, chapter 16. That's right. A white man will beneath emancipated souls. That's right. That's right.
Hey, Nolan Wells. Judah, part of the 12. You're right. Hey, Nolan Wells. Hey, Nolan Wells. Not forget about you. Not forget about you.
We're going to drop three of the most important clips because there's something that is very, very odd, very, very strange that we pointed out, but it needed to be said. And this judge used to be on the bench in Mississippi. He's now a lawyer, but let's get into this. Roll it.
We do know at this point, low-hanging fruit. There should be an investigation about the underage drinking. Who provided the alcohol? Those individuals could be immediately arrested based on if there was any sworn testimony presented to a judge. I believe a judge could immediately sign an arrest warrant for those who provided the alcohol to underage individuals. There's a lot of people and a lot of potential crimes, some misdemeanors and felonies that people could be held accountable for. Was there any boating while intoxicated? Who was the captain of the boat? And what did he allow on his boat? If there were any illegal drugs possessed by anyone, drugs are still illegal in Mississippi. At least they were when I was on the bench. Drug possession, drug use, selling of drugs, dealing drugs, trafficking drugs. We've heard testimony, or allegations at least. I don't think anything's been put in affidavit format yet, about rampant drug use among certain individuals. So there are a lot of things that's been alleged. Once put into the correct format, affidavit-wise, it could lead to arrests for several things, including misdemeanors and maybe even felonies. So there's a lot left to do. We are not rushing to judgment, but I just thought I would come on here and tell you that there definitely should be search warrants issued by now, and there could be arrest warrants for certain crimes issued by now. But for the ultimate crime of murder, it is probably wise to wait to see what the autopsy reveals.
So then what the hell happened? What Nash, what ended up being a thing? Well, a thing happened today that kind of, dare I say, it might have been yesterday. I'm just now seeing this shit. So pardon me if you go, hey, that was from yesterday. I just seen this. So there's a story that broke about what happened because there's some bullshit ass story that they try to say about 7 o'clock, but 11 o'clock rolled around and Nolan Wells, he was alive, dandy, and well.
Lazia Spencer, who says, bro, No didn't get into a fight at the island. It was our other friend, No and Wyatt did get into an altercation right after that, not even 10 minutes later, because Wyatt took his phone and Evan was trying to be hard. Nolan was definitely screaming, give me my effing phone back, N-word, with what's wrong with you. So they all calmed down. So that's when we head to Evan's house because he was throwing a pool party. So yes, No came to the party. And yes, we were drinking, but Wyatt and Evan and Morgan and Andrew were really high. And I think they were trying to get Lucy and Natalie to try some as well. But yes, they got into it again at the pool party. It didn't end until almost 1 a.m. I know Evan's mom kicked us all out. Once they started fighting, it was Andrew and Evan and Wyatt, and Warren was basically recording and laughing, saying, get him, get him. And all I could hear was No screaming, mom. So yes, I tried helping. Then his mom comes out screaming, yelling, drunk, make us leave, and was saying she was going to call the cops on us if we didn't leave her house. But they didn't let No leave, and No was by the basketball goal that was inside the pool. He was leaning over besides it, gasping for air and spitting up blood. But now his mom knows I just got off the phone with her. Then Alicia said something, Jay saying that because he is friends with them. I mean, we always, until I don't know why Jay's still communication with them. But anyway, but he always been like that, LOL. But nah, this mess up because No still would be here if he didn't go to that pool party. He went around people that was real high and the parents allowed it. But yeah, No did make it back to the island. This is all allegedly. Now, here are pictures of him allegedly at that pool party. I just want to get this information out there in case there is some truth to it, which in some parts would make sense, but we have to wait to the autopsy to come out to see what happened. But again, we pray for the family of Nolan, Xavier Wells. This is such a terrible, sad situation. And we just want the truth to come out because there's so many different stories, but it would make sense why they were so sus and not giving up the keys to his car, why the phone made it back to a friend's house. And did they possibly take Nolan back to the island and then leave him there? I don't know, guys. I will keep you updated. Let me know if you find out more information. Send it to me in my DMs.
That happens. But TMZ dropped a video 2 days ago that I believe is the catalyst for the damn marching going on in the streets of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, because there's a bunch of people that should be spoken to that weren't spoken to. Now, investigators probably say, well, in the immediate vicinity, we do this, we do that, and blah, 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 and all this shit. But I thought when we seen commercials, if you have any information, you're supposed to call or we're looking for tips and all this shit. It seems like the police might have already wrapped this shit up.
Avon, have you seen the video that's been going around social media where people think that they're hearing an argument between people and they're wondering whether or not Nolan is one of the people in that argument? You just described that you had another friend, not Nolan, another friend who was in and got into a dispute. Is that video the other argument that you were talking about?
Yes.
So, but is that Nolan in the video?
I can't tell. It's too far away. But in that video, I feel like the voices are too clear. Like from the side, it's too clear for it to be that far away, for it to be Nolan arguing. And then also that altercation, it sounds just like my other friend that got into the altercation on the boat. And they were trying to, like, as he was in that altercation, I was calming him down. They were trying to get him out off the island. They were trying to get him back to land because he was just losing it. So
Describe that. That's kind of interesting. What was that about?
He was just very hostile. Like he was just like really like mad. Like they were just trying to, like the parents on that boat were trying to get him out.
I'm curious if the police have, I know they said they're still investigating. Did any investigators ever speak to you about what you saw that day?
No, sir.
Really?
Okay.
Cops have not talked to you yet.
No, sir.
That's odd.
I don't see why the cops would have. I don't see why the cops would have to talk to me. I mean, obviously, like like I had said my plea, like because whenever I had talked to the people at Sunheard, it was whenever the body was discovered, and the autopsy people and all those people were there.
Well, I'll tell you why I'm surprised, because you knew Nolan well, and you knew that he was friends with these guys who were the last ones to be around him before his body was found, and I would think they would at least want to know, hey, just the things we're asking.
Right.
You know, did you ever hear of any of this stuff? It's odd to me.
Just to gather information.
Yeah,
as
that
part
the
of their
cops wouldn't have
investigation.
contacted you. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, I'm completely fine with that. Like I said, I have nothing to hide. Like, that's my boy, and I want him to find justice. Like that, like this whole case thing, like whatever, like this whole situation, and none of this adds up to me. So like, it's really hard, like, for like people to just like keep on saying things when like none of it adds up, honestly.
So one of the things that I'm sure, Javon, you've seen has been a big part of this story, people making the point that, at least in the photos that we initially saw, that Nolan was the only African-American kid who was out there, at least on that boat. Do you think, having been there on the island with this large group of people, that race plays a factor in whatever happened here?
Again, I don't want to answer. I don't want to answer that question. I wouldn't say like. Yeah, I wouldn't want to answer that question. I mean, obviously, we go to Ocean Springs. We're gonna have white friends, so like, that's. I mean, I guess it's pretty normal down here, but.
Yeah, I mean, and I hear you. If that's, I
Yeah,
guess
I
you're saying
don't.
that it's normal. It's not out of place to be a black teen in that area and that you have white friends, right? That's
Yeah, like,
not uncommon,
yeah.
is what you're saying.
I'm sure every black person has white friends somewhere, you know. So I wouldn't say that it's a whole race thing, but it's just like obviously they're gonna paint it as that because none of this adds up.
Here is what we know. Nothing. We don't know if that picture came from the past weekend. We don't know. We can speculate, we can guess, we can do all this shit. We don't know. And I'm not saying this to sound negative or whatever the hell. What I am saying is simply and merely this. We've gotten to a point and came to a place in time where the skin color debate, the prior relationships, the history and all this stuff that America has against this color, especially in that state, it ain't gonna fly. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't care about somebody who tries to say, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Nah, I don't live in Mississippi. My grandmama from Dundee, Mississippi. You hear me? So I don't want to hear none of that shit. But what I will say is still base it on, because I believe you guys are like me and I'm like, y'all, we ain't journalists, we're opinionists. We base our opinion upon what we see, what we believe to be as facts. We go through rabbit holes and we see if it's actually true. So the initial opinion of Seti Nash, which got a lot of flack from a lot of people who failed to see what was in front of them. It's a college. These are college young adults. What do we know about college? What is sold throughout all the movies? Drugs, sex, alcohol, and parties. Do you think that might have went on? Do you think that's possible? I believe this shit got drugs written all over it. Now, I'm not trying to demonize a little dude or nothing like that, but if you sit up here and you tell me that some college kids ain't possibly drinking and doing drugs, because maybe it ain't drugs, maybe it's alcohol, whatever the hell the case may be, who knows? But I believe if the story about the phones is 100% true and they deleted shit and all this stuff, I believe they're trying to cover up some bad activities that they were all in on. Now, if it turns out he tried to do some, you know what I'm saying? And they had a bad batch in there, then we gonna find out. I don't know, man. It's just, it has all the makings of some friends doing some shit they shouldn't have been doing, or a boy doing some shit with a girl that he shouldn't have been doing. But we learn what we shouldn't be doing in the limits of our bodies when we continuously live, from your teens to your 20s to your 30s to your 40s to your 50s to your 60s to your 70s, and all of the above, if you can make it past that far. But for me personally, to take a mindset and a belief that this guy's skin color and baked into it, I can't jump to that conclusion just yet. I can't. It's unfortunate. We don't know what happened. Thank goodness for the family getting the second autopsy, but shit, when was the first? What were you going to get announced for the first autopsy? Because I believe that if this kid would have got beat to death or some shit like that, I believe There would have been markings that it would have already been thrown. It would have already been shown. But also, shit, I don't really trust police like that any goddamn way. So I'm not really tripping on people not trusting the police. But what I will trip on is this. Anybody who will attack somebody else for pointing out things that they could see. When we said alcohol was involved, everybody quickly pointed out, oh shit, those Michelob Ultras. To the point where even the obvious couldn't be discussed because people wanted to hold on to this shit of, I got it right, I got it right, I got it right. And if you're wrong, then what? For everybody, if this becomes some shit where Lil Buddy basically died of like some alcohol poisoning or some shit like that, and then basically, I don't know. But if it happens to be drugs or alcohol related, the only thing y'all gonna further do is go down a rabbit hole and say people gave it to him and all this shit, right? As though they forced it on him. Instead of saying, let's go get the people responsible for supplying the shit because these are underage adults. Or which route are we going to go here? But Nash, they deleted their goddamn social media account and all this shit. Why wouldn't they? And I'm not giving that shit no excuse. But it's obvious the youngins are hiding something because they're basically in trouble too. They're accessories to something. Transactions of alcohol, transactions of drugs, or possibly conspiracy to commit murder. Who knows? What I'm saying is, I'm just going based off the facts. But if you don't like all that, y'all let me know what y'all think on this one.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold y'all. This motherfucking interview with Seti Nash and Big Bank, that shit very informative. And that's why I be saying about niggas that be trying to play that street role, bro. Especially if you're a famous figure or you trying to be a street god and all that shit, and you know that you and your guys done told some shit. Bro, when it's public knowledge and niggas need a bag and they got information on you, and they'll pay them off. I mean, they ask a motherfucker, yo, let me get a bag and I send you this information. That ain't no different than a nigga finding a drop on an op and hitting a nigga up that's beefing with him and saying, yo, give me a bag and I'll tell you where he at. You know what I'm saying? When you niggas don't keep it solid, ain't no coming back from that shit, bro. I don't give a fuck what y'all say about Seti Nash. I believe what that nigga saying is true because I kept it solid and I know niggas ain't 100.
Yeah, check that interview out. Hit right here to see what the hell he talking about. Click right there for that video, and I'll catch you on the next one.